So tell me about your song. First of all, what's the title of it?
Redwoods.
Okay. And tell me about the story behind the Redwoods.
So it's just kind of, I live in Seattle now. I'm from Santa Cruz. Moved away when I was 21 or 22. And I've just kind of fallen in love with up there. And so it's almost almost like a love song for Seattle, and then just like the Northwest, and then sort of a not necessarily bitter, but maybe a little bit of bitterness, like of like a goodbye to growing up in Santa Cruz.
Okay. So when did you get started making music?
About, what month is this? This is August, so about 8 months ago.
Wow. How'd you get started?
Well, my brother plays music, he plays bass, all my friends are musicians, and I'm just kind of always around that, and always wanted to participate, but felt that I missed the boat, I guess. And then I was hanging out with my friend Brian, and we were just kind of talking, sort of like, oh, I wonder what kind of songs I would write if I could write songs. And then, so I asked him if I could borrow one of his guitars, and then I was driving home, and on the way home, like, came up with a melody, and then got home and figured it out, and then wrote lyrics, and then the next day I called him, and then that song actually, I changed some stuff, and that became Redwoods, the song that I played, yeah.
Your first song that you wrote.
Yeah.
So Kyle Skelton says that you are a big literature enthusiast. What's one of your favorite novels?
Well, my favorite novel is a novel by Annie Dillard called The Living, which is, I just took that title for the band name. And it's the sort of the themes running throughout it like really struck a chord with me, and also it's set in the Northwest, a little bit north of Seattle, and including Seattle a little bit, from like 1850 to 1890, so it's like the settlers during that time and all the hardships that they went through, and just like describing the landscape that's just so beautiful, and so being up there and like driving to work, and just like, when I was growing up, bald eagles were my favorite animal, and like three or 4 days a week I'll see a bald eagle, like the same one, on my way to work.
Wow. And
I see it and just like, oh, I can't believe that I live here. It's ridiculous. And so just seeing the landscape there, and reading that book, and kind of feeling like I'm a part of it in like a really, really, really minuscule way, it's just, that's just my favorite thing to think about. Like, I almost like can't separate the experience that I've had up there from the book, even though I read it like maybe a year or two after living up there, and I already liked it, and then I just loved it, and now like anywhere I look, or anyone that I meet that's from up there, I just like, oh, you're so lucky, you're like a character in the book. I just can't separate the two at all.
Do you feel as though where you live, I mean, obviously based off the song The Redwoods and coming up with your band name, but even more than that, like where you live influences the way you view music?
Yeah, definitely, and the location does. I think that the beauty of everything up there does kind of put you in a certain mindset, but also that all the people that we've all met are like just incredible, and you just like there's like a really strong kind of, I don't know, feeling of like proactiveness that, and everyone just like does stuff, like where people are coming over and sitting on the porch and playing music, or we're like, oh, we should go jam this, and we go down in the basement and play down there, or you know, whatever. We have a piano in our living room, so someone will just come over and start tinkering around, and so we know a lot of musicians, and everyone's like extremely supportive, and everybody goes to everybody's shows, and yeah, we like have barbecues on Sundays during the summer, and it's like, you know, 40 people will come over to our house, and everyone's just hanging out and just talking about music. It's just like music all the time. And so, I don't know, I think there's a part of me when I started playing music that wanted to, I don't know, maybe throw my 2 cents into the mix of what everyone was talking about. I think because before I started playing, I didn't feel like my opinion mattered as much, but that's my own insecurity. I mean, people would always say, what do you think? Oh, I don't want to do it. But yeah, I don't know, it's really interesting, and I had no idea what kind of songs I would write before I started writing them, and then started writing them, and was extremely nervous to play them in front of anybody for like the first, you know, month or so, and then like way too soon I played an open mic, and it was like the most terrifying thing I've ever done, and I was just kicking myself after I did it, like, why did I even put myself through that?
So any plans for recording right now?
Not really. I mean, before I went on this tour with Brian, we were going to try and squeeze in a recording at some point after this music festival and before we left, but there was only like 9 days in between there, so we didn't end up being able to. But yeah, hopefully, just that, I did on Brian's computer like a couple of demo kind of deals, just by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I have those, but I mean, some of the songs are different now than those are. But I'd like to, yeah. But so far, no. I just want to play shows.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to try it because I haven't done like a proper show with like a sound check, you know, before you play or anything like that. I've just done open mics or house shows. So.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the living room show a couple of days ago. It was great.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming by.
Of course.